Hello everyone, I'm Brian Capel of the Great Ohio Bandwagon, and this is the very first video for the Bandwagon Review. Episode number 1, Great Ohio Bandwagon First Show of the Year. And what a show it was. Once again, this was at Express Live in Columbus, Ohio. And so how this is going to work is like my friend Michael Summit and his Food Cruise page. If you haven't joined the group, check his group out. They check out all sorts of restaurants, mostly hole-in-the-wall restaurants, no chain, and they do reviews on that. And this is kind of where we're going with the music thing. We're going to have music reviews of what the concerts was like and what the artists were like live and would I go see them again? Should you see them? Why should you see them? Stuff like that. We're basically breaking down how great or what could have been better with the show. We're going to give it all to you here at the Great Ohio Bandwagon. And this will be the first video for it. Let's check it out. I got a cool dinosaur shirt, by the way. Wearing my row, row, row your row, because who doesn't like a T-Rex that can't even hold the oars to row his own boat? Oh, yeah. What a great night it was. So I went Sunday night in Columbus, Ohio, as you know. The doors opened about 6:30, and it was Royal the Serpent in Pvris. But a neat thing with Royal and the Serpent was they had band members from another band, which I didn't expect I'd see a band under this name, as you already know. I still can't even pronounce Beauty School Dropouts. Yet, that's who it was, and let me tell you, Beauty School Dropouts was unique. We'll start with them first. So the band members, of course, are mainly doing the background music for Royal and the Serpent. With an exception, they had one song where they did have their singer do one of their songs. I tell you, as I don't quite know the names of all these guys just yet, this guy is definitely the next Youngblood if he wants to be. If you're familiar with that rap musician from England, I mean, you would have thought this guy was his brother. When you heard him sing, I was like, wow. So, yeah, shout out to him. The rest of the band members, they were awesome. They were having fun. They were getting the crowd fired up. And they were just a perfect fit with Royal and the Serpent, who I believe she's the woman of this group, artist, maybe solo artist from what I was seeing, what I've seen so far. Phenomenal voice. She was quite the woman on stage. She just was all out, having fun. Us fans were enjoying it. A lot of us, it looks like a lot of us didn't really know who this woman was. I know I'd watched a few videos, and with a pop alternative artist group, if you don't have an ear for it like me, I usually don't follow too much on that popular type stuff, as both artists tonight were probably not highest on the chain for that genre, but they're definitely two artists. I mean, Royal and the Serpent in Pvris, that definitely could be. But back to Royal and the Serpent, so with that type of music, there's what you hear on YouTube, on Spotify, versus what you see in a live setting. And anyone that goes to concerts regularly like I have will tell you there is a huge difference almost 90% of the time. And that's about what it was. I mean, everything's a lot louder and everything just sounded so better in the live setting versus what you're seeing in the music video or on Spotify, etc. This band, Royal and the Serpent, she could definitely be higher up at some point. Would I go see her again? Oh yeah, definitely. Probably not anytime soon, obviously. Always a lot to choose from because they weren't like usually my genre type of music I usually listen to all the time, but I would definitely catch them at another show again if they ever come back. And I'm sure they will. So yeah, Royal Serpent, Beauty School Dropouts, definitely two artists you should definitely check out. And they got a lot more tour dates coming up with Pvris. I think Columbus was the third date, and now they've hit 4 stops now. So yeah, definitely check these two out. And now, of course, the artist I was mainly there for last night, well, Sunday night, Pvris. And this was my second time seeing them. The first time I saw them was 6 years ago in 2015 at Warped Tour. Before I'd even seen them on Warped Tour, there's a lot of bands I didn't know who they were at the time, so that was an interesting Warped Tour in general. Gave me a lot of new artists to check out, but I always wanted to check out that festival, and of course I did. And definitely one of the best music festivals I ever went to, hands down. And I've even been to Sonic Fest, which is now Rock and Rage and Incarceration. I would still pick Warped Tour over those two easy. All three are great festivals, but Warped Tour just always had the variety. And that's what just, in my opinion, always separated that one from any other music festival that I've ever attended. So yeah, the first time I saw Pvris was in 2015. I didn't know who they were at the time. I actually had heard about them on Alternative Press. I think they were like the last page of the magazine they had specifically for Warped Tour when Alternative Press did that for many, many years. And yeah, when I saw them in 2015, I was blown away. I was checking out their music right away, and I'd been in love with the band ever since. So going into Sunday night, they've kind of changed their music a little bit. So, I mean, if you followed them the first 2 albums, you know in the third album they definitely got a little more into the pop style music, the Halsey type style, as I would like to probably call it if I would call it anything at all. So, yeah, I didn't know what to expect because they definitely feel like the music's changed a little bit. Not so much of the rock band era that they had when I'd first seen them work tour, but no, they did not disappoint. I was absolutely blown away once again, and I think they really showed that they definitely will be around for a long time, and I think they'll be definitely playing for bigger audiences in the near future, because where they were at last night, Express Live, is probably going to be the biggest venue that they play on the whole tour. Originally, this show was supposed to be at Newport Music Hall. Amazing venue, by the way. If you ever attend a show and your artist performs at Newport, definitely should check that out. So yeah, the show was originally for Newport Music Hall back in I think it was supposed to be May 20th of 2020. And then, of course, as we all know, COVID happened, and fortunately that was not meant to be. And then it was rescheduled for April 20th of this year. And obviously we still weren't in the clear. And then, of course, now, August 8th, show finally happened. I think the bands are definitely finally excited to be touring again with everything going on. But yeah, they blew my mind away. They played a lot of their newer stuff as they promised. Especially since last year they had put out a new album right around the tour. So this was all new to us. And then they've added like 3 new songs. One of them's been released, which was the opening song of the show, Monster. Kind of more of that Rihanna Halsey style as I was mentioning earlier. And it was just amazing, a live setting. It was like, it's been my hype up song in the gym right now since they released the song just about 4 days ago. And it was definitely the hype to be dancing, singing along to that song. It really was. And of course, they did some of my favorites, You and I, which I almost wasn't sure if they were going to as we were getting near the end of the show. St. Patrick, another song I like, just a really catchy, upbeat type of song. And then, of course, like I said, a lot of new songs. Gold, I believe, was on the new album. That was a really good song that I didn't really know much of. I didn't get in the new album all that much except the singles. It was just really hard to adjust to that new style. But I think now seeing them live a few days ago, now that will probably change because now I have better a better understanding of the songs in a live setting. So I think now it'd be a lot more easier to get hyped up with that than it was just about a year ago when the album was released. So yeah, any disappointments or anything that I wish would have happened? Was a little bummed out they didn't do Heaven. That was a song I was probably looking forward to the most of the whole show, and wasn't to be. But like I said, they just have so much new material right now that they can't get to everything. But they had plenty of good songs that they picked for the show, and absolutely had an amazing time. The fans were really into it. I saw a few people really dancing to the music, getting into it. Always love seeing that. That's how it should happen with the show. And another one, I was shocked. I know it's off their first album, but I always felt that song was quite the staple for a while. But now with the new direction, maybe they may be hanging low on that one for a little while since they played it so much. My House, which I did get to see at Warped Tour, so I have seen that song play there. That was actually my intro song to Pvris, was My House right after that show in Warped Tour 15. So yeah, I was shocked to not see that one performed live. I wish they would have, but as I mentioned, they just have a lot of good songs to choose from. Would I see Pvris again? Oh, absolutely. How high up I would say? Definitely high, but again, always a lot of artists to choose from, so probably won't be right away, but hey, next time they hit Columbus, they will definitely be on my radar once again. And I think they could definitely probably be at that Express Live level with most venues after this tour is over. I think they've definitely earned their spot on it. I know there's a lot of competition in the music industry, but I think they've definitely stepped up their game, and I'm definitely excited to see what happens with Pvris in the next several years. Alright, so that's going to be it for me. You have watched the first review of the Great Ohio Bandwagon, first show of 2021. This is Brian Capel, and I am signing off. Our next concert will be August 17th in Columbus once again at the historic Crew Stadium for the big three of pop punk: Green Day, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, Interrupters. We're definitely going to have a lot for you on that review. But until then, I'm Brian Capel. I'm signing off. You have watched the Great Ohio Bandwagon's first review. And I say so long, everybody.